watching Ryan. This environment is a little bit new to the horse. Coming under the lights from the island. Let's see if horse keeps it all together. It's a little bit different environment. I know the horse a little bit. I am sure there are some butterflies going in Rowan's stomach right now. It would be in everybody's, because this is all a little bit different. Be very careful with this horse. He's quite sensitive. She's quite sensitive. Even the name is a little tricky. Dancing on a wire. So let's see that she can have a good experience. This horse has a nice piaffe and passage. Sometimes getting to and from those is a little tricky. So let's see
on the
what
center
happens.
line now for Canada in the Grand Prix, Rowan Tyson and Zaltans.
There. Good. Easy. Whoa. Okay. Very nice. I can rely a little bit more on the monitor because it's a bit dark from where I'm sitting. So okay, has the extension. Yeah, she's trying. Oops, easy. There, just quietly out of the finger. Sometimes you get this nose up a little too high, then it gets a little bit difficult. Here, that long half pass. Maybe a tiny bit more bend and flexion, but there, she at least kept them nice and parallel. And then come on, see, now sit to the inside. Okay. Okay, and whoa. Quiet halt. Easy, 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 easy. Oops, careful there that the hand don't get too strong. So she lost a little bit the diagonal pair. So now again, has to be a very calculated extended trot. To we're at that transition to the passage. Yes, keep going. Now sit very quietly now. And ask for the piaffe. The horse. There, come on. Easy, easy, easy peasy, easy peasy. And out. Now keep the passage all the way to P. And sit and relax. This is the first time you have a chance to breathe. There. Good. Yeah. Quiet. Easy, easy. Don't get the neck back out. Get that nose out again. Out. There. Show that you trust the horse. Easy. Whoa. Nice and quiet. Easy, 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 easy. Just walk. Don't try to do anything fancy. There. There. Very nice. Transition at M. Good job. Okay, nice there. She's hitting very nicely around there. She's really challenged the horse from the rear to the front. And nice out transition. Now, as I said earlier, that transition looks deceptively easy, but it's not. So she missed the transition a little bit, but okay, but she's cantering. Okay, now the twos. Whew. Okay. Quite even, hold it. Now the neck's getting a little bit unsteady. Things are getting a little handsy, but she's trying to keep control. This horse loves to take over. It's a strong horse, strong, big neck. Easy, easy, give. Whoops. Bend. There, she could flex a little bit early. That's better. Yes, there, that made the change easier. Okay, overall, certainly could have had a little bit more deviation from the center line, but at least she got everything in. Oops. Yeah, she got a little in trouble right in the beginning. She didn't look. She didn't line herself up on the diagonal. And it's very easy to get lost in the changes. That was just a navigation issue. So now the pirouette. Good job. Yes. Now right forward, allow the change to happen. Good, good, good. Yes, yes, good girl. The transition here, difficult, as we talked about earlier. Once the horse is underneath, it's not so easy to transition to the trot. There. And coming from Victoria Island, this, some of you recognize this is really jumping into the deep water here. She's holding herself very nice. Yes, she had some problems, but this is a true learning experience. And PF, tap, tap, tap. There, yes, yes, just let it happen. Let it happen. And get out. Very nice. Very good passage. Yes. And quietly half halt and halt. Ooh. Good job.
Representing Canada, Rowan
Yes.
Tyson and Zeltans are first to go here under the lights at the Adequan West Coast Dressage Festival.
Yes, there were some issues, but it could. But for the first time out under the lights, this environment, good job. Yes. See even another right now. I think she did fine. Yes, they're going to be, the scores are not going to be super high because of that kind of major resistance. If you kind of got lost in the ones.
And as we await marks for Rowan Tyson and Saltans, into the arena comes number 720 for the United States, David Blake and Lord Albert. 17-year-old Hanoverian, 16-2 Ann Bay Gelding, owned by Rosemary Church, competed today by David Blake from Cardiff by the Sea, California.
So now David Blake. We have seen in the earlier classes doing a really fine job with Heidi Spirit, second in the I-1 this morning. Let's see what he does with it. Yeah, just that little bitty left hind sticking out. Judge from C noticed that, and I'm sure took a small deduction. It's a little thing sometimes that count. That certainly was a very conservative extension. But David knows exactly how much he can challenge this horse. So there you're looking for more flow. And we'll see that later on when Stefan counts this up in Casper, because somewhere his half passes could be very extraordinary. If everything goes right, you never know. Again, somewhat careful coming into the passage. Yeah, okay, you're looking for a little bit more lift. But the horse is really trying. Dave was doing a good job just making it a little bit easy for him. Again, the walk rhythmically correct. Could have for Grand Prix a little bit more overstride, a little more through the body. Very nice transition from the collected walk back into the passage, so at least there were no trot steps. Oh. Now we just have to stay consistent. Lift, 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 lift. There, yes. Okay. A little bit advanced, but not much. It's perfectly doable. Okay, now the twos. Yes, good boy. Could that have been a little more exciting, a little more jump, a little more ground cover? Absolutely. But he got the changes. Here, let them roll on a little bit. Okay. Again, so far everything there, no major mistakes. Because the horse is a little bit short in stride, it's more difficult to really show a nice deviation from the center line. So you see he really didn't dry that much because he had plenty of time, plenty of room. He finished well before G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Got his 15 changes. Again, now setting up for the pirouette. Yep, get around. Yep, careful a little bit. If you notice there, the hind legs were a little bit glued to the ground. But he got around without any tension resistances, and he managed the transition. Here is final extension. And let's see what he can get out of that last center line. No, it's a very workmanlike test. There, yes. Good job there again. Per earlier, some of the center line work is the best. They're very solid, coming in with enough energy.
For the Grand Prix, David Blake and Lord Albert. Once again, Lord Albert, a 17-year-old Hanoverian bay gelding owned by Rosemary Church and competed tonight by David Blake from Cardiff by the Sea, California. Their scores coming in now, and as we await the full set of marks, this is number 715, Nick Wagman and Zenith. This 15-year-old brown warm-blood gelding owned by Beverly Gepfer competed by Nick Wagman from San Diego, California.
So here's the scores here. Again, the judges are very together on this. 68, 66. Waiting for the score from B. 67 something. Yeah, they're all very close together. It was a workmanlike test.
Marks now for David Blake and Lord Albert at E, 67.065. At H, 66.957. At C, 68.370. At M, 66.196. And at B, 67.283. Final marks for David Blake and Lord Albert, 67.174%.
Yeah, that's pretty much a typical score for a workmanlike test. No mistakes.
Our next combination, once again, for the
But
CDI
overall,
3-Star
just
Grand Prix
needed
for
a
the
little bit
special,
more- little more
sponsored by
quality.
Four
It's
Winds
a little bit
Farm
of an older
and
horse,
Akiko
too.
Yamazaki and Jerry Yang. This is number 715 for
So
the United
that's-
States, Nick Wagman and Zenith.
And again, we've seen Nick before on different horses. We saw him just in earlier class. Nick's always a strong competitor. Again, one of those many tall male riders here. Good, nice halt, I think. Already shows a little more energy there. Okay, kind of he cruised right past F, but you want to make sure you keep that momentum, keep that energy, so he has a nice energetic trot for that flow, for this half pass. There. So here you can see the clear crossings. By far the best half pass we've seen so far. There. Very nicely written. Easy. Okay, got it in. A little hesitation, but that's okay. And now again, see how much he's willing to risk. Yeah, he's going full out for the nice extension, and then transition and up in the air, down, under, and lift. Yeah, that one didn't quite work, so that means A, the piaffe didn't quite there, and also the transition out wasn't so strong, but here now again the passage is quite strong. There again, the extended walk, clear walk, reasonable overstride. Good. I show a nice collected walk, and right about here, the rider starts really thinking about that transition at M. And try to manage to get into that transition without any short strut step. Okay, started a little bit early. And again, you can see that the piaffe isn't quite so developed yet, but the passage certainly is. Yeah, a nice picture. Now the twos. Nice. Well presented. Straight. And the extension. And I can tell you that what you see on your screen is probably a little bit lighter than what the actual arena looks like. It's a little bit dark in the areas. Yes, he really made an effort to show a nice deviation from the center line. And now the ones. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice. 15 clear changes again, quite straight, well jumped. And I have no idea what he was doing there. Because it looks like he gave an A to the trot. So that didn't make any sense. Somehow he must have had a different test in mind. Now, but he's making up for it here. The pirouettes are really very nice again. That was just a mental error on the rider. There's another term for it, but you can't mention it on the air. Extension. And now again, he's trying to make up for his little mistake here. Was coming on the center line. Lift, 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 lift. There, that's what you want to see from the front. Just those knees coming up. Easy. Lift, lift, lift. That's it. Stick around there. And now take him out. It's not easy to ride a good transition out of a so-so Piaf.
Final alt and salute for Nick Wagman and Zenith and for the United States.
He's kind of laughing, saying, that was my mistake. But this replay here, these half passes are really something worth watching. Yeah, and these changes also. I know Noah's waiting for me to shut up. But it's nice to be able to comment here on some quality movement. And now I'll turn it over to Noah. Again, they really see that he's trying to do the
and as we await our final marks for Nick Wagman and Zenith around the arena, number 710 for the United States, Stefan Peters and Suppen Kasper. An 11-year-old Dutch 17-3 hand brown gelding by Spielberg, owned by Four Winds Farm, ridden tonight by Stefan Peters from San Diego, California. Scores now for Nick Wagman and Zenith at E 67.609, at H 69.891, at C 68.587, at M 68.370, and at B 65.109, giving Nick Wagman and Zenith 67.913%.
Okay, bye. A very small margin. Nick is right now ahead of David. A little bit of a spread. 69 to 65, but okay.
Up the center line now for the Grand Prix
So
for the
now,
special.
This is the horse,
Stefan
the
Peters.
horse and the rides companies, and everybody's waiting for. That's why people are sitting out here freezing, because that's the one they want to see. So, Stefan, please don't disappoint. And Stefan seldom does. Oops. But this is still the first show after some layoff, so. It's a big horse. Yes. Yeah, still somewhat conservative, but very solid. It definitely was an extension. Now let's watch and see what he does in his lateral work, because Stefan always does a good job here. Yeah, solid. Again, especially the one here to the left, very correct. A little different style than the previous horse, but very strong. Easy, 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 easy. That was not so hot. Okay, now Stefan with this very stable, very steady seat, and now in the collection for the passage, and now the piaffe. That's what people came to watch. So, yes, he had a little bit of an advance, but what was really nice is that the haunches were dropping a little bit, really engaging and really providing power. And then immediately from the passage to the walk. There, right at the end, he really got comfortable. Yes, just keep him nice and relaxed and walking, and set him up immediately to lift. There, that's more the picture of the piaffe. You got out of it a little bit early, but that was beautiful. What you showed was beautiful. There he's bouncing, and then you get immediately off now into the left lead canter. Solid twos. Yes. There, Stefan seldom holds back on an extended canter, because he's so strong through his seat and back, he can bring any horse back. And 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and change. 2, 4, 5, 6, and change. 2, 3. See how much room he had left. So it shows you how steep he rode the half passes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good job. Yes, I'm sure he's feeling much relieved. Occasionally, Suppenkasper can throw in a little mistake there, but he did a nice job here. And sit, rotate, rotate. That's it. Nice, clear canter. Beautiful. Also, very nice. And immediately out of R into the extension. That was a nice transition. And Stefan seldom leaves points on the floor, so let's see. When you see him from the front, he moves a little bit side to side, but he's so much off the ground, so much power. Oops. Again, you see a little bit side to side. When you see him from the front, from the side, you cannot see that so much. So it depends what the judges are doing from the front, but my God, look at the animation. And a nice hop.
For the United States, Stefan Peters and Suppenkasper.
Yes.
And we come now to the final ride of this evening's CDI 3-Star Grand Prix for the Special, presented by Four Winds Farm and Akiko Yamazaki and Jerry Yang. And our final combination is number 709.
Just here, Suppenkasper. It's beautifully presented. I think Stefan did a super job showing the horse again. Look at the pirouette. Beautiful. Nice forward, upward. We never had a feeling that the horse was dropping on his front end. Oh yes, I see some big scores here. And also some deviations. 79.
And scores now for Stefan Peters and Suppenkasper at E, 74.891. At H, 74.022. At C, 76.196. At M, 74.674. And at B, 79.239. Final marks for Stefan Peters and Suppenkasper, 75.804%.
Well earned.
Our final entry this evening in the CDI 3-Star. Emily Miles and Wake Up, number 709.
For some of you stayed up a little bit longer,
17-hand Black Stallion
you on the East Coast,
by Vagnus out of Maiden, Montreal,
foreign countries,
owned and ridden by Emily Miles from Paola,
so one
Kansas.
ride left. And I'm glad there's only one ride left because it's really getting quite beastly cold. We're a little bit in the desert area here in California. So when the sun goes down, the temperature goes down rapidly. So Emily, again, we've seen her before on different horses. Nice rider. Gets into up, Sarah, careful. These riders are all going to show up, come again into the Grand Prix Special, but I believe the Grand Prix Special is on Sunday, and there won't be no video, no streaming video on Sunday, just tomorrow. Yes, there's a lot of crossing, but I wish you would be coming off the ground just a little bit more. Pup, pup. Yes, technically very correct. Yeah. Emily's a very nice rider. One, two, three, 4, 5, and closely. That's it. That was maybe one of the better reinbacks we have seen today. Oops. And lift. Good job, yes, and I'm going to chatter along. One. Okay, now it was a little, hasn't, not quite really committed to the piaffe, and moved a little bit, advanced a little bit. But it's a nice picture. Yep, you want to keep the big boy here. On the leg, on the eights, and interested, so your pops gets in that transition. And pop, pop. Was a tiny little front step. Okay, as you can clearly see, there was a fair amount of advance, but the horse at least was in piaffe step, but he did advance a little bit more than he needed to, maybe. Again, just the twos have been very solid from most of the riders today. Good job. Okay, now roll them on. Go, go, go. And the infamous zigzag, feared by many. But she's doing a good job with it. She has a nice deviation from the center line. Get them all in and had plenty of room left to make your turn at sea. Now the trick is now to get the ones. There from this angle we couldn't quite see, but there you hope that he would separate the hind legs a little bit more. Oops, and now let's see how he keeps those hind legs busy. There, okay, good. He supported himself. It was a little bit unbalanced in that pirouette there. Oops, careful, don't go too quick. Ooh, she managed. That was dangerous. And nice transition. Again, not easy. There was a little bit conservative. Come on, get him. There, okay. Good job. Again, another Grand Prix without any mistakes. No spectacular highlights, but luckily no lowlights. Nice halt. Good job. Mm-hmm.
Emily Miles and Wake Up just completing their CDI 3-star Grand Prix for the special, and we'll have their marks and final results for the class in just a few moments. We invite everybody to stay with us. We are coming up on our CDI awards presentations for all of our CDI classes from this afternoon's competition here at Galway Downs Equestrian Center, and the first in the series of this year's Adequan West Coast Dressage Festival. A big thanks for this class's presenting sponsor, the Grand Prix for the special, presented today by Four Winds Farm and Akiko Yamazaki and Jerry Yang.
Mm-hmm. 68, 70, 67. Okay, we're waiting for the scores from Emily, as you can see there on your screen. Judge at B is still missing.
And scores now for Emily Miles and Wake Up
64.
at E, 67.065, at H, 68.804, at C, 70.0, at M, 64.783, at B, 64.565. Combined score for Emily Miles and Wake Up, 67.043%.
Very tight into the